Hello, everybody. My name is Eric Smith, and I'm going to be discussing construction language, a diverse English category. I've been in construction field for almost 4 years now, and I've came to a realization that construction language is almost an alternative English category. The first thing I'm going to be talking about is the construction objectives when construction terms and analogies are used in the field. The first one is going to be making effective discussion. We want to get the point across fast and we want to make it clear and concise. So when we're communicating to laborers or engineering consultants or anybody, we want to make the communication clear and directive. The second one would be the demanding orders. This one can get kind of technical at times. Demanding orders ranges from a lot of areas in the construction field, but this is a huge construction objective that is presented in everyday tasks in construction. The third one is keeping everybody inspired. This one can go to relating anything to just positive attitude and not demoral anybody out in sight and just to keep the work activity up. And then the fourth one is probably one of the biggest ones, and it's going to be the staying focused on the process. So this is going to correlate to the schedule notes that is provided and team meetings, bonding times throughout the site or with the subcontractor or anybody else to get everyone effectively communicating and staying on page. Next, I want to discuss probably the most confusing part of construction, and that is the use of acronyms. There are so many acronyms used in construction today that if there would be a huge book of definitions and examples of acronyms used in everyday construction. I'm gonna what the main purpose of these acronyms is it is supposed to be designed to communicate quickly. It's supposed to be if you're going to refer to the same thing over and over again, you would just like to say just three simple letters instead of coming out with sentences. And with doing this, it eliminates the cause for wordiness. So in a way, in the English realm, it comes into play as a plain English category that is often referred. So I gave a couple examples. One will be an RFC. This typically means for release for construction. These are design plan sets that are released by the engineers that are submitted for building purposes and for referencing tools out in the field. The next one would be an RFI. This is typically called for a request for information. If something out in the field does not work properly, or we have just an overall question that the plans need to be more clear on, and details need to be more provided on that section. And then the third one is personally my favorite one is PCP. This means praise, correct, praise. We often utilize this acronym because everyone just doesn't like to be corrected. Everyone makes mistakes. So we typically always say, hey, don't forget to PCP. And this is when we're talking to the higher ups, such as the superintendents or supervisors out in the job site to just to correct. And when we correct them also, we make sure that we abide by these rules. Okay, so now I'm going to be talking about the different styles of construction language. I've listed numerous different styles that I've personally been in contact with throughout my construction history. One will be hand signaling. This is probably the most utilized construction language out in the construction field. This is how to communicate effectively even when people don't know actual sign language or people don't understand what's going on around the construction area. Usually these hand signals are interactively known throughout the world. You can go across to Europe and you could use these same things, and usually people comprehend what you're actually trying to say just by these simple hand movements. The second one would be crane operating. This is very viable when you're operating a huge crane across, for an example, my project's out in I-95. You're definitely going to need crane signaling when you're operating a 200-foot crane that's going across the highway, and you cannot yell inside to the crane operator where he needs to drop or where he needs to locate the crane to avoid any type of accident or misconstruction. Third is drawings. This language is typically done inside of different scopes, and the four scopes I've listed are the civil, architecture, mechanical, and electrical. Each style of language is provided in each different scope, as there could be same terms that are also interchangeably through each of the scopes and drawings. And then it also refers to the construction scopes on the last one. So the surveying, civil engineering, construction managers, all of these have different construction language. Usually it's not interchangeable between all of these three. They all have their sorts of different words, acronyms, and different styles of lingo, as you should say, between the construction process. And just to wrap it up, construction, I've did a little play on words. It's an additional English language. In the very beginning, I said it was an alternative English language, but really it's just another tack on. Construction is a difficult process, but it can be a fun one. But if you are not involved in it, it will be hard to understand. There's new change words every day, and there's all sorts of new Django that comes up. And with doing this, interpreting almost becomes a second nature if you're in it all day, every day. It literally becomes just noticing on the back of your hand that you pick up on things that you never even realize until you're actually tested on it. And then what I want to do with providing you with this knowledge is that I want you to challenge for you to become more aware while you're noticing construction, while you're out driving, out in the sites. I would like for you to notice the keywords and the pickups that I've provided in this PowerPoint, that you can also be aware throughout when you're seeing construction throughout your life, and wherever you're heading to, that you can be more proactive and keep everyone safe during the construction process. This is the end of the presentation. I just want to thank you for listening, and I hope I have made you more aware of the construction language and what is used every day in the construction practice. Thank you.